Hi, my name is Macy, and so for our group project, I figured it would be easier just to kind of combine everybody's ideas and put it all into a video, so that way we would all kind of contribute equally. So for civility in today's workplace, it's very difficult with today's society and COVID being a huge problem. And so for one of our group members, Jero, he had a virtual workplace, and a lot of the problems that he was encountering was noises, people in the background, and not really having a space to themselves. Connection problems were really bad with everybody trying to use the internet, trying to use Zoom and Google Docs and everything else, and just bad moods, people in bad moods with COVID, the situation, having to be in the apartment all the time. And it does create bad attitude a lot of times with people, and one bad attitude creates several. And so kind of the solution was to put together rules. They made a set of rules that before you get onto the Zoom or while you first get on the Zoom to eat either some breakfast, coffee, tea, something simple, so that way they wouldn't be as grumpy in the mornings because they've had something in their stomachs. They're also put a set of rules together just to be mindful and respectful of everybody, not to interrupt someone if they were talking, not to kind of budge in and not let them finish and interrupt them in a bad manner. Just mindful and respectful. Also, they had this little thing where they meditated all together for 10 minutes. So it was a 6-hour workday, and they took just 10 minutes out of their day to simply sit down and meditate and get their thoughts together. That way they had positive attitudes moving forward and for the rest of the workday. So from Tanya, I'm sorry if I say that incorrectly. She worked at a summer camp, and a lot of her problems with civility in the workplace was raising voices at each other, ignoring other people when they were trying to talk, and just felt like they had no respect from their bosses and higher up people. They felt like they were just getting at points where they were just hollering at each other and weren't being respectful at all. And so her solution for that place was just for civility in the workplace was to write out all the problems, get together and write out all problems and everyone sign it and just bring it up to the other people. And so with that, they made some rules and regulations to do simple things like 5-minute breaks for mental health, just to get yourself together. If you were stressed, just kind of recharge and take that 5 minutes and get your act together and kind of come back into there. Because if you feel like you're going to just argue with someone or raise your voice or be disrespectful, the best thing to do is just to take some time, step away, and gather your thoughts, and then come back and be respectful and listen to the other person. They also had this thing where they did upbeat music instead of playing like down depressing music or sad music. They made sure to play upbeat music so everybody kind of stayed in like a positive attitude and atmosphere, and it wasn't so harsh on them all the time. They also were determined for everybody to come in with positive energy and to radiate that, and I think that is something that is amazing. Now for me, I was someone who worked in customer service quite frequently. So with COVID hitting, no one wanted to work, and I had very much difficulty with being very young and working as a boss. And so a lot of people did not respect me because I was younger and I wouldn't know anything. And a lot of people would just trash on me because they did not like that we were being so slow, or we put pickles on their burger when we didn't mean to. And honestly, a lot of times I was taking the orders, I was cooking the orders, I was making the food and drinks, and then I was taking it out and serving them. So it would take 30 minutes. And we had a lot of problems with bad attitudes in the store because we were just so upset and frustrated with the situation at hand, and it would radiate off of us onto the customers. And so when we took out the orders and the drinks and the food, it was just bad energy from them back onto us, and then it made even more bad energy for the people that we were serving next, and it just was a bad night altogether. A lot of the employees just bad attitudes toward each other. They would yell at each other, holler at each other, and we had employees walk out all the time because of the bad energy in there. And so for me, for civility in the workplace, it was just having a simple smile in your voice when you answer the headset, and not being disrespectful and like, well, what do you want? What else can I get you? More so, hi, what can I get started for you? And then as simple as just a smile when you go out to greet them, and hey, how was your day? Simple little interactions like that made it a whole lot easier to get a better response out of customers and also out of your fellow employees. If you ask them to do something polite, like, hey, do you mind stocking the cups for me? Do you mind putting some more ice cream in the ice cream machine? That took it a lot farther than if I was to yell at them, hey, go get the ice cream. Hey, you're not allowed to leave until you stock the cups. If I was a lot more polite about it and asked with manners and respect and politeness, they took me a lot more serious and they were a lot more willing to go do the job that was needing to be done. And so I think with me, it's just little things like smiling, politeness, manners, respect. Like, don't treat someone like a dog if you don't want to get treated like a dog. And that was a big thing with me, especially being a younger woman trying to be a boss of a lot of older men and people. They did not take me very serious, so I really had to kind of have an affirmation in my voice, but I also had to be polite and have manners with it because they were not ones that were going to be talked down to. So I think that just politeness and manners took it a long way. So just some little recommendations and simple things to kind of be insightful with everything going on now. It's just respect. Respect other people, respect your customers, respect your employees, respect your boss, and not only give it, but make sure you're getting it. Otherwise, that's a problem, and if you're not getting it, then you're not going to give it. Communication, talk. If there's something going on, bring it up and make it aware so that way it can be fixed, because if you don't communicate, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse, and then the attitudes and everything else and energy is just going to go down, and you won't produce what you need to be producing in the workplace, and it's just not, the numbers aren't going to be good. Good attitudes is a huge one. Good energy, good attitudes. It's hard, it's difficult, we all know this, but just a little bit of timeout, breaks to kind of reset yourself, recharge, realize that, yeah, you might be having a bad day, but the person you're serving might be having a bad day too. So if you just radiate the energy, it's never going to come out good or come out in your favor. Be mindful that people have other things going on in their lives, kind of, it relates to that. You never know what just happened to someone, so if you radiate bad energy and you're just in a bad mood and you just hate doing your job, it's going to fall off onto them, and then they're just going to have a worse day than they already had, and it's not going to radiate good energy back onto you, and you'll give that to someone else, other employees, and it'll cause chaos in the workplace. Also, just one little thing was, we're all humans, we all make mistakes, we all have bad days, things happen. As an employee that was a server, just be courteous and respectful with others. Even if you aren't the server, if you're the one being served, just be mindful that mistakes happen, things happen. Try to be as patient with us as we were being with you. And that's also a really good point, is just patience in the workplace. It takes a lot of patience to deal and train with some people. You just gotta have patience in your employees and your boss, and know that some things take time, but it's going to get there. And it's hard nowadays with COVID going on. It's hard enough as it is, and COVID just adds to that. So just being patient, being respectful, being mindful, and knowing that it's going to get better, and communicating with your people, your employees, your boss, and everything makes it 10 times easier to just have civility in a workplace. Thank you.